What does that actually mean to have a clear direction?
I think it's difficult because we want to say that our direction is big to save all beings, right? But in the trenches, it's more like, well, I want to be happy, and I want to be free, and I don't want to suffer, and I don't want to be confused, and I want to be enlightened. And so I think you take what you can get. You take what you've got, and that goes back to your question, and you aspire to something else, and by practicing, you can close this gap, right? You can close this gap. So it's interesting. When the moon shines, like let's say we're in Minnesota, there's supposedly 10,000 lakes in Minnesota. When the moon is out, it's reflected exactly the same way in all the 10,000 lakes. So we could look at that, the truth is as it is, and then we're over here in our little tiny selfish selves, and we want to have that shining moon. We want to have that big direction. So we see somebody like the Dalai Lama, we see Sansanin, we see someone with the save all beings mind, and that's like the moon. And it's the same in each of us, but we have to taste it ourselves. So we start out stumbling. We start out, well, all right, I'm going to come to this retreat because basically I'm super messed up and I need to do this or else I'm going to kill somebody, And yeah, I wish it was because I wanted to save all beings, but I'm starting with what I got. I'm going to come in the Dharma room and do the vows and do the retreat. I'm going to do this practice. And as we do this practice more and more and more, we start to see, back to what I said to you, where is this I that I think is suffering? It's like one time I went to visit the Vietnam Memorial. So my father's name is on that. And I didn't go until I was an adult. And so I went there with, I can't even remember who I was with. That's bad. But I think I was with my sister and some other people. Anyway, you get to the Vietnam Memorial in Washington, D.C., and it's, of course, the wall with all the names on it. Right? And it's really big. Have a lot of you been there? Have you seen it? Show of hands? Yeah, it's pretty amazing. And so it's this long, black, shiny, marble wall with all the names. And so it was really interesting. We get there, and I was like, I've got to find my father's name. I've got to find my father's name. My father's name. And so they have these phone books that are in the front of before you go into the wall part. They're big, they're as big as phone books, and you look your person's name up there. And so my father was John B. McLaughlin, so you have to wait in line, and you're sort of anxiously waiting to get to your name. And it's just common, it's natural, right? And so I'm looking in the book, and I'm looking for his name, and then I'm frantically walking, and there's a sea of people, so many people looking for their person, for their name. And I'm frantically trying to get to the panel, it says panel J17 or whatever it is. And on the way there, I stopped and I realized we're all here together. It's all the names. It's not my name for my person. It's all of us. And then it was just this river of all of us. And the wall of everybody on it, not just my father, So that's kind of starting with the I, my, me part. And along the way, you can, if you put it all down, you let go, you can have those moments where it's oh, yeah. What was I thinking? And maybe the next day or maybe later that afternoon, you're back to where you started. So you just do it again, and you do it again, and you do it again. And then the direction starts to become for the whole wall, not just my name. Like that.